All right, guys, so remember in my last video on how to fix the chain when it breaks, I told you guys that we ordered a Electro & Co. Chain upgrade, and because we didn't really expect this chain to last that long, well, guess what? The chain lasted a day. You got a couple hours use out of it, and then it snapped. They're just not made for the power of these motors. So I'm glad that our new Electro & Co. chain upgrade has come in, and that's what today's video is about. There's the chain. So we're gonna unbox it and show you guys what we got. Let's see what we got. All right, so let's see what we have here. First things first. Looks like we got a sprocket. See that? You can take it out of the package. Let's see what it looks like. Nice Electro & Co. sticker. Let's see what this sprocket looks like. So this is a lightened sprocket. It's a 35H sprocket. And you can tell it's lightened. You got all these holes. Looks like a disc brake would be, you know? That's how they lighten them up. So hopefully this thing's, you know, it spins nicely, transfers the power, but not have to worry about too much of the weight factor. You just check that plastic, just set that sucker up down. There you go. And then, oh, what does that say?
It says enjoy your free RLV upgrade.
What is that? RLV upgrade.
RLV upgraded from one of the people at Electro.
Thanks, Halie. What does that mean? Let's figure out. Let's see what the heck she's talking about.
This right here.
RLV upgrade.
We got the chain. It says high performance pit bike chain extreme drive system RLV.
Oh, so we got an upgraded chain. We didn't pay for that, right? That was just something they threw in for us. Nice.
Yep. Comes with this note. Thank you, Electro & Co. Thank you, Halie from Electro & Co.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Should I take it out of this? No.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at what that looks like there.
Looks like a gold chain.
Break that sucker open. Some scissors right there. Everything seems to be packaged pretty cleanly.
Yeah.
You know.
I get all the scratches from the chain. So
yeah.
It happened.
But you can tell they took some care in packaging it.
Electro & Co. always package everything nicely.
It's good to know too that we're getting quality parts, so you're not going to be breaking down anymore on the.
Mine's gonna get oiled a bit.
Just spill it out. Spill it out on the on there. Yeah, spill it out there. There you go. Oh wow, that is a gold chain. Yeah, so just so you guys know, gold chains actually, the benefits of having a gold chain on your bike is they resist stretching more than like a regular chain. So they're high tempered, so they're heated up so that almost like a hardened steel you would like for your tools. That's kind of what happens with the chain. So we're not gonna have to worry about his chain stretching and popping out. Oh, what else we got there?
And here we got, I don't know what this is.
That looks like some kind of tensioner system. I guess we'll figure that out right now.
Yep, and we got let's just take the sprocket out.
That's an 11-tooth sprocket. Okay, so we got the 11-tooth and this tensioner. Looks like we have everything we need. So let's get started on the build. You're going crazy, meow meow. What are you doing? Huh? No, no, no. Okay, so we got the bike up on our bike stand, makeshift stool bike stand. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the chain guard, and then we'll focus on taking off the rear tire. So that we can get access to the rear sprocket, and hopefully we can get to the main sprocket here. Just all we got to do is screw it off and put the new one on. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna work on the back tire. We got the chain guard off, and I'm gonna work on the back tire. And I don't really need to worry about the brakes or anything, because if I just loosen this guy down, it should just slide down and drop, and then we can take this up to the bench and take off the sprocket. Let's do that. Okay, so we got the tire out, we got on here back on the bench. And so now what we're gonna focus on is getting this sprocket out. And it looks like it's just these right here, these screws here. Looks like it. Actually, take that back. Where's it these guys here? We'll find out. It's either these guys or those guys. I'm gonna start with these guys, because these look like from the back side here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but back in this area here, there's like a lock nut, and these are Allen head bolts. I have a feeling this is what holds this on, just because of the amount of fastening. This is a lock nut, and that you don't want this thing coming off or anything, so that lock nut keeps it from flying. So these are just regular Phillips heads. I think that's just for this chain guard here. So I'm gonna focus on the Allen heads. I think that's what it is that comes off. And you can see this guy. If you want to be more comfortable, you can just slide this sucker off the axle. Just take it on out. So that way, you know, you're not having to fight with it, you know. Just put it off to the side. Put it back in when you're ready. Just remember which way you took it out. Make sure it goes back in. I don't think it really matters, but you know, we want to keep everything the way it came from the factory without actually screwing anything up, you know. So we got the Allen head, and I have a feeling as I loosen these that, yep, the lock nut on the back side is going to spin also. So I need to get like another wrench on the back side, like a box end wrench, and just slide that up under and lock it in, and then it should break free. We got the 4 bolts out, and I think that does it.
What is that? Is that the? What is that? What is that? Chain.
Check that out, huh? Oh, so you know what that is? So this guy, the bolts go through here and they go into this back flange piece, which kind of holds these gears. This doesn't really spin. This spins the tire. So.
Oh, that's how it was like. You like that noise?
Yeah, this doesn't spin. This gets stuck with the screw. So once you put the screw through the sprocket, it goes through one of these things.
That's how it makes the tire move?
That's how it makes the tire move. Yeah, that's what holds it all nice and tight. But it does spin a little bit. I was able to move it a little bit, see? But it's actually spinning the tire too on the insides. So, and you know, since we're in here, we're just gonna kind of clean this up a little bit, so that way we're putting a nice clean part with a nice clean part.
We should put the tire on. Look at the where's the ball at? It's all in the middle, and on the sides it's like how you see.
Yeah, you're gonna need some tires soon. You better start saving up.
Electro Cup. I'm probably gonna get scrambler wheels when they come back in stock.
Yeah, we'll probably be getting some scrambler wheels from you guys, because look at what's happening here. So, if you guys have a sale on it sometime, let us know. Drop us a line. We'll be first in line if you drop us a line.
Yep.
Okay.
I got the money.
Clean enough. So we're gonna work on mating the other piece now. That's This is a donor part. Any of you guys out there need a new old sprocket for MX650? Leave us a comment. We'll send it to you. We don't need it. And a broken chain too.
Your turn, let's go.
Okay, so now that we got the sprocket off, we kind of got the mating surface nice and clean. I'm just kind of taking a brush to these screws because I know I'm going to apply some Loctite on it, and I want the Loctite to stick to these, to the metal here, to these screws. I don't want them to stick to the dirt. What's the point? To waste the Loctite. I'm just going to clean these guys out. You know, never, doesn't hurt. I'm here now, might as well. Okay, so here's a new sprocket. My guess is Electro & Co. wants us to have this facing out so that you can see it, right? So there's no, they don't really include instructions. You really don't need instructions for something like this. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what you have to do. But most kits or most manufacturers want their logo out so that, you know, it's a good way to advertise their product. So I'm going to put it out, even if it's not supposed to be, or you can do it anyway. I'm going to put it out because I want to advertise their products. You know, they have good products and they deserve to be advertised. Right. And so you're just going to set this, can you see this part right here? You can see it right on the camera.
Yeah, you can see everything on the camera.
So I'm just going to kind of set this flange piece again. And I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like where the screw holes go. I just kind of making sure that it's going in between the teeth there. And then I'm going to line up the sprocket over that so that each screw hole lines up there, and
it's as big as a tire.
It's almost as big as a freaking tire, dude. And then I'm going to set the screw in there, kind of get it started. Maybe
start with 2.
I'll start with 2 so that way, yeah, it stays in alignment. And that way if I move this around, everything stays in alignment. And once I get all the screws in, I'm not going to tighten anything up until I have all the screws in. So that way everything's nice and in there aligned and there's no binding on it. So let's get started on this. This is going to be the fun part. Trying to get these screws back there while you're doing this. So I think I can do this with one hand. If I do this, I get this guy right there. If I get my finger in there like that, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. My finger's right there holding the lock bolt there, lock nut, and then I'm just going to start this. Doesn't need to go too tight, it just needs to keep the nut from falling out. And I'll do the same on this side. Start it real carefully here, make sure everything's in alignment. Get this guy in the spot. Get my Allen head on the wrench going. Make sure we're not stripping anything. This guy's not going in nicely. A little bit of dirt on the threads there, so we'll clean that up. But it's holding, and I'll get to the next one. And what I'll do before I tighten is I'll get a little dab of Loctite right in there, and we'll screw it in. I really should have put Loctite on these first before we put them in, huh? Well, now that these are in here, let's do that. Let's grab some Loctite. Do that. I still have to put in. It's right about. You want to put it on the tip where you know the nut's gonna hold. You don't want to put it over here because the nut's gonna go isn't gonna go that far up.
I thought we had blue.
They're red. This is red. This is high temp Loctite. I use these when I build engines. Because I know that those engines get to extreme heat and I don't want the Loctite to give way because of the heat. And no, I don't do engine building professionally, so don't ask.
For fun.
It's for fun.
You can see in some of the backgrounds, you can see an engine.
Yeah. All right, so we got it all buttoned down. We got our thread locker on the threads, on the nuts back there. It's actually lock nuts on the back too, so we're like super securely tightened down. So we're gonna go ahead and
it's an Iron Man.
What's that?
It's like Iron Man.
Oh,
it's like
I know.
an Iron Man thing.
Iron Man heart right there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and before we get this back on the bike,
Let's change these
I
sprockets.
think we're gonna change the sprocket out on the motor, huh? Okay, let's do that.
One of my other favorite parts of the fair is
Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna change out the sprocket. And then the kit, we figured out what this is. This is the tensioner spring because it's a bigger shock.
Chain.
Because it's a bigger chain. Because it's a bigger chain, we're gonna, they give you this more heavy duty spring for your tensioner. So we got to take this off to swap out this guy as well. So we're gonna do that. Do it. Okay, so we got the old
Almost the exact same size as this one.
spring off. It is almost the exact same size, but feel the thickness. This is a lot.
Yeah.
This wire is a lot thicker than this wire,
Yeah, it is.
which is gonna give you that, you know, what you need, that extra tension. So this screw just comes off. This guy, he just kind of slides right out, and this guy was still on there. I just kind of broke it free, and he was still on there. And then this, there's a hole in the frame that this goes into, and then you come back with this guy, and then you position it in its spot. So that's what we're going to do next. So what we found out is the diameter of this is a lot bigger than the diameter of this. So this will slide into that hole. This will not. So you can do two things. You can, if you want to drill out the hole, make it bigger, you can do that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to let this rest underneath the frame here. It's essentially the same thing. It's just to keep this from getting corroded. That's why they slide it into the frame there. It's, you know, in time with water and crap, it's gonna get corroded and eventually break. All right. So we got that guy there.
Wait, we're gonna take off them. I thought we were taking off the sprocket first.
Oh, you're right. My bad. So since we have this off now, this gives us more room to play with the sprocket because you have to hold the sprocket. Maybe doing this again, I think this would have been the best choice to loosen this bolt first before we had the tire off with the chain on it, because then the tire would have held this from spinning, then we could have loosened this guy off at the same time. So, but if not, I mean, the only thing what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna grab the old sprocket and hold it down and loosen it up. And then when we put the new sprocket on, we'll get it on there nice and tight. Once we get the new spring on, I keep saying spring, dude. Once we get the new chain on, then we'll come back and tighten it down, since the chain will be holding this from spinning from the big sprocket. It'll allow us to put some torque on it. But for now, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. So the sprocket is kind of pressed in. What I did is I got the wrench here and I slid it over the shaft, and I just kind of worked it side to side until it popped free. So that's how we got rid of that one. Let's show a comparison. Do you guys see that?
I see that I was getting so much sport.
Dang, what a difference, dude.
That one's bigger than the one that we got for the upgrades.
Was it?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a real big difference.
So when you order the kit, there's two types of sprockets. There's a D-bore and then there's a spline. So what you need to do is you need to come out to your motor and look at it. The differences are the D-bore, this is a D-bore, right? It just has like a notched hole in it. The other one is a spline, and it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger, and it's got like, yeah, it's thicker. The sprocket's the same, but there's like a back end on it, and there's like grooves, if you will, into the back end. And then on your motor, you have grooves on it. So there's two types of motors that Electro & Co. uses for their kit. It's a spline motor or a D-bore motor. So make sure you before you place your order, because this is not a refundable item. Once you place your order, it's yours. You order the wrong one, you ordered the wrong one. The back end will still work fine. You just need to order a new sprocket for your motor. So that would be the only downside if you had to reorder. So just do yourself a favor, do a little homework before you actually place your order. And then just a word, the threads are reverse threads. So normally when you tighten something, it goes like it's clockwise.
Righty tighty,
lefty loosey. Yeah. So
it's lefty tighty, righty loosey.
So this way to tighten it, it's opposite. So it's like you're loosening. So we got the sprocket on. That's not nice and tight yet. It will be once we get the chain on it. And then our next thing is going to be getting the right there. You can see it. Pincher. All right. Oh, that's why it goes in the hole. It keeps it tight the whole time. See that?
Try getting old.
Yeah, let me So what we found out is this does have to go in that hole. So you just saw me drill out the hole just a little bit bigger. Because what's happening is without it being in the hole, when there's no tension on the arm, it's just kind of hanging there. So putting this in the hole actually keeps this in the right position that it needs to be in. So just take a drill bit. Doesn't have to be that crazy big, just enough to fit this guy in there. Just like so. There you go. Now it holds it up. See that? Perfect. So one thing to note with the chain, you can see the original chain on this side versus the new chain. Well, one, look at the size difference. Oh, it's way bigger. But two, look at the length difference. So this chain is more than likely meant for like the RTR, which is a bigger bike, which probably has a bigger, I'm sure it has a bigger swing here, which is why the chain's bigger. So what we need to do is we need to actually cut the chain, and you need a special chain cutting tool to pop the link off. And just that happens to be, I have one, so we're gonna go do that now. So for those of you that are curious what a chain detacher tool is and what it looks like or how it works, on the back here, hopefully you can see this diagram. You can see that you insert the chain in a way so that that little point right there is on the pin that you need to press out. And then you just start twisting on the other side the handle, and what it does is it presses the pin out of the bore there, and that's what they call a chain break. And I got this on Amazon. This is just it's Amazon or Harbor Freight, I'm not really sure. I think it was Amazon. But that's what it is, and let me show you what it looks like. So this is it right here. This is the tool. You can see press the pin in there, and as you twist this, that pin goes in and out. It's basically just like a big vice press, if you will. But you insert the chain link right at that point, and then you just start twisting, and it presses it out. Simple as that. So you get it in there in a way that you can kind of get that pin to hit that point. It's not an exact science or anything. You just kind of have to work with it until it presses it out. That's what we're doing now. So as we twist this, what you'll see is that pin will start forcing its way out. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's gonna pop. There it goes. I got it. Okay, so we finally got the chain all installed. You can see it right there. And it's nice and taut. It's got a lot of, you know, it still has some play. It's not too tight, but it's enough, you know, to keep everything nice and tight and to account for any bumps or anything like that. So it's not too tight. So, but yeah, that's a good fit the way it is right there. He's gonna give it a little test run and we'll see. All right, man, let's see how it is. See what you...
Suspension. I rode this bike for so long.
I know.
Feels like.
Got that nice shock.
Thanks to these guys.
Thanks to D&M.
Electro, look out.
Next is upgrade on the... Oh, maybe they'll give us a nice upgrade on that too.
That might be too expensive. Alright, let me read in the guys.
Alright, give it a whirl. You haven't ridden it in a while. Sounds good.
I haven't done one of these in a while.
It sounds pretty good, huh?
No, it sounds like a. Let's see.
It's not too...
Can't tell. I don't know if it sounds like. I haven't heard of what RTR sounds like, but I think it would sound like RTR.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too... it sounds actually pretty precise and stuff. So, right on. So what do you think?
It feels a little. It honestly feels better.
Feels better?
It's much smoother, not so.
Not, you don't have too much torque on it
I don't have
up
to.
front.
Because if I lean back on this one, it still like gets it up a little bit for full throttle. But like obviously don't do that because of power, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as torquey, which I'm lucky that.
Yeah, one of the things we noticed was like the front sprocket here was a little bit, this one's a little bit bigger, the 11 tooth, right there. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than what was on there. And so we lost a little torque, but I think he's gonna gain more in the high end, the top end on that.
Speed.
And speed.
So this before it was like upgraded the chain, it went, I got it up to 55 miles an hour.
No, before?
Before, yeah.
The chain upgrade? I think you were saying like 40, 45. On this one? With the old sprocket and old chain? Oh, well, let's see.
See how fast it goes now.
Yeah.
Because I was on this street, we have this street like over by one of my friend's house. It's like speed limit's 55 miles an hour. On like this full race mode like this, I was able to get to 55. I looked at my phone.
To 55?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So overall, what do you think?
It feels a lot more it feels way better. So I haven't tested it in the street, but in the dirt it feels pretty good.
Better. Would you recommend the upgrade?
Yeah.
Okay. Especially because the other chain kept starting to break.
Oh yeah.
It's so weak and loose.
It broke off, and then we got another one from Amazon. That one broke in 2 hours.
Yeah.
We had to wait.
And so this is actually well worth the upgrade. All right. Thanks, man. Go have fun. Wear your helmet.
When I did record it, I don't know, like when I recorded it, it went to like just up to 52, but that was like I wasn't.